I said when I counted to 3, you were gonna drop everything. Weren't you paying attention? Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Manok once again, and this is Manok Sailor Stories, where I talk about stories when I was in the Navy. This is episode 1, basic training, Chicago. That's where basic training for me was. The first thing I could remember, it was cold like a motherfucker. Not only that, you're with this type of clothes on, t-shirt, and you're in a line and it's cold as hell, right? So we go into the first building. I called it the drop. Once you get into the first building, they were talking to us. This RDC came from out of nowhere and he comes up and he's like this. So, you guys will learn to listen. When I count to 3, you guys will drop everything you have in your hand. Am I clear? Then the guy stands up there. He counts to 3. 1, 2, 3. Then everybody's just dropping everything they had in their hands like. But you know, there's always one person that doesn't listen. Nah, it wasn't me. That guy that didn't listen got the first welcome to boot camp. The instructor that counted to 3 just went crazy. He was like, "Didn't you listen to me? I said when I counted to 3, you were gonna drop everything. Weren't you paying attention?" Everybody at that time, everybody's in the line like panicking, like, "What the hell? Oh my god!" I'm thinking to myself, like, he's just screaming. What he's gonna do? Screaming doesn't hurt anybody. For the first 6 to 9 days, we're basically doing paperwork and doing a bunch of stuff that you have to sign, and a lot of documents, and a lot of stuff that people didn't read were the documents they were signing. And one of the documents, it states that you cannot sue the Navy if something happens to you because of the Navy. A lot of people don't know that, and then they're trying to sue the Navy once they're in, and they just laugh in their face because you have to sign those documents to get in. Anyways, you get your division and you get your RDCs. So after you get your division, you start taking tests, you start doing all sorts of stuff, basic training, right? So when they used to come into the compartments, you had to say stand by, stand fast, or attention on deck, depending on it was an officer, a petty officer, or a chief. The rover watches, what they used to call it, the people who used to be logging who came in and who came out, if you fucked up, they were going to be on your ass. They would come in and you see their name tag, you had to say their name, and then you had to tell your division RDCs who came in and all those things. But sometimes there would be this guy on watch that did not know what the hell he was doing. So when the people come in, or the petty officer, RDC officer, or whatever would come in, they would be like, scared as hell. And then they would be like, "Drop and give me 20. You're supposed to say attention on deck, or stand by when I come in, blah, blah," and they would chew them out. A lot of people would not tolerate that. The first thing that comes to people's minds is like, "Oh, he's screaming at me, I'm going to punch the shit out of him." It doesn't work that way in boot camp. They're going to be trying to drill into your mind. They're going to try and break your mental habits. That's what basically basic training is for. We used to have the people, you know, like every division, the smart mouth. That the RDC told him something and he would reply really smartly, and then the RDC would drop him down, or even worse, make the division pay for it. And that's when it really hurt. This one time, we were eating, and then this chubby kid that was in the division, he put a cookie in his sock. You know, they give you in boot camp the saran wrap with the cookies, and then you open it up and eat the cookies in the galley. You're not supposed to take it out of the galley. You're supposed to eat it there, and that's it. Well, he put it into his sock and took it up to the division. And while we was marching up to the division, and the cookie fell out of his sock. Then the RDC was like, "Oh, hell no! What the is that?" And you know, of course, the recruit answers, "A cookie." Everybody starts laughing because it's the obvious thing. It's a cookie. But he was asking an obvious question. "Oh, you want to be smart mouth, huh?" So they sit him down. They're like, "Okay, the rest of the division drop." And they started ITing us. You know, the punishment when you're in boot camp is called IT, where they exercise you. So they started exercising us, and the kid was crying because he was feeling bad because he knows the rest of the division was going to hate him and they're going to be on his ass because he already did it once, and everybody's going to watch that doesn't happen again because we got punished because of him. It was not our fault that he took the cookie, and we're not supposed to watch for somebody else. But that was the type of training that they were giving us, that you had to be like police for everybody. Another thing when I went to boot camp was I thought I was physically fit. I thought they will exercise you into a new shape. Like, I went there weighing around 180. I was 6 feet when I got there, and I was running the 1.5 miles in about 12 minutes. So I was like, yeah, I'm fit. I'm doing this. I got this. When I got there, hell nah, I wasn't fit. I felt like the fat kid of the division. We used to exercise between almost everything during boot camp. So, like, if we go to class, we have some free time, or we're gonna PT, which is physical training. If after lunch they have to wait 1 or 2 hours so we can exercise. So after that, we normally go to class after lunch, and then after that we might go do some more PT. So we would PT sometimes from 4 to 7 days a week. And the time that we weren't PTing and we had off, we were studying for the test or learning new material or marching. We did so much marching, it's like ridiculous. Everywhere we went was marching. When you step with your left, they'd be like left, 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 right, left, and that will stay stuck in your head forever. They used to have all kinds of cadence, like 1 2 1 2 3 4 4 1 2 1 2 3 4. I used to joke around, and I was like, man, we need to do some beatbox cadence. You know, when we had that off time and the RDCs weren't around. And I used to be like 1 2 1 2 3 4 4 1 2 1 2 3 or 4 3 or 4 And one day the RDC caught me. They're like, what are you doing, recruit? Why are you singing? You're not supposed to be happy. Well, by the time I finished boot camp, we did so much training that PT did nothing to us. It's like the punishment was IT, where they do intensive training and they tell you to do push-ups, 8-count bodybuilders. If you went to boot camp, you hated those. And mountain climbers, I hated those too. You used to do all these different exercises, right? But by the time we finished, we got PT so much that those training, like the punishment, we would eat it up like nothing. It was nothing to us. That's basically what basic training was about. Just a lot of exercise, a lot of studying, a lot of marching, and you gotta be ready mentally to be able to handle all that pressure. Then they did the graduation in boot camp, and they let your family come. Nobody came to my graduation. It sucked. But their family comes to the graduation. You get to see them for a couple of hours. Then they ship you off to A school. Well, that's all for this episode. Manok presents Sailor Stories, episode 1, basic training. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys around.